Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. I am live on my channel, Texas Gal Treasures. And if you're popping in live, could you please let me know in the comments in the chat if you can hear me okay? Because I'd hate to get going and then find out that the audio is messed up because it happens from time to time. Let me make sure I don't have anything else going in the background because usually that's the problem. But I think I've got everything else closed out. Today, I am going to be covering a few different topics, and one of the main ones is it's a hard conversation that some of us need to have about the reality of reselling, especially if you're a solo reseller like myself, and you don't have a spouse or a team or anything like that, because there's definitely just some things that we need to talk about. And so I'll be talking about that. And then one of the other things I'm going to address is about cross posting, because that's something else that I get a lot of questions about, which ties into what we're going to talk about with the conversation about the reality of reselling, especially for solopreneurs, solo sellers. And yeah. So what brought this up to me was that I get a lot of comments and a lot of questions from people that I'm going to try my best not to cry. I'm just put that right out there. But I brought tissues just in case, because I was talking to my mom before I'm stalling because I'm like, I can feel it coming. Before I came live, and I was like, this is really not a hard topic, but it's just real, and the reality of how hard things can be, and that not a lot of people like really share the pain that can go into that, especially if you're in a tight spot. Whether, for me, I was in a bad marriage and I had to get out of it. And I know some of you are like, the comments I get just break my heart for you. People that are trying to care for elderly parents, or that have medical problems, or caring for, adult children that, have special needs, and like, just really like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what's going on here? I'm trying and saying, how do you do this, Margaret? And so I wanted to come on and talk about, well, how I do it, and the reality of just, it's not as easy as some of. And there's nothing, I'm not saying anything bad about any other resellers at all. Everybody has their own reality and their own way their business works. And sometimes things are presented as super fun and easy. And I like that part of it too. But the reality is, it's not always like that. And if you don't have a spouse that's working with you, or a team of people, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. If you do, fantastic. That's wonderful. But I don't have that. And I mean, I'm not in the place where I want that, because things just are shifting and moving all the time. And it would be way more than I could deal with, you know? So like I said, I was talking to my mom about, coming on and talking to y'all about this kind of stuff. And I'm like, Mom, I feel like I'm just going to like burst into tears here. I was like, maybe I'm PMSing. And she goes, maybe it's menopause. And I said, no, I don't want to hear that. So, all right, here we go. But I am live. So hello in the chat, everybody. And thank you so much for being here and letting me know that you can hear me. Yeah, life is tough. It can be tough. And y'all know I'm usually such a positive person. And I always look at the bright side of things. I really try my best to look at the bright side. To the point that my mom will sometimes tell me, quit being a Pollyanna. All right, so Coexist, by the way, I love your name. Message like, hello, thanks for the really great education. About 20 years ago, I quit. I sold quite a bit on eBay, so I do have experience, but very aged experience. I'm about to start selling again. Wonder what platforms you think are best. eBay, Etsy, are there others? My items will be all over the place. So that wasn't the comment I was going to start with, but we'll come back to that one. Okay. So another comment that I got was from a woman who was like, I don't know how you're doing this. You're a single mom. You just moved. You're homeschooling your kids. Like, how are you doing this by selling on eBay? And the reality of it is that I don't just sell on eBay. I have YouTube, and that's why I tell everybody, even if you're like, I don't really want to like get on YouTube, get on as many different things as you can, because truly that's, getting on YouTube, having affiliate links, selling, on multiple platforms trying print on demand. Like there's a site called Teachers Pay Teachers, for teachers to post things that are digital downloads and homeschool stuff. Like I post stuff there, like every single place that I can. I'm trying to do the Amazon, what's it? Cha-ching King was helping me with this a while back, and I still haven't like gotten it. Anyway, long story, but it's like this affiliate, like you post videos of things that you bought, and like I'm trying to find every single possible outlet that I can find to make money coming in. Like I don't even care. Like my Teachers Pay Teachers, I think it was like $12 last month. To me, I'm like, that's a win. That's like milk and eggs. It's one little thing that contributes to my groceries or my bills, or like, and I have to look at it that way. Because otherwise, if you look at it like, oh, it's just $12, why bother? Then it's easy to say like, I'm not going to do that anymore. It's not worth it. And you never know, like I have a homeschooling YouTube channel, which is not monetized anymore, but it was for a while, all because of like a random video I posted about the Marfa lights, and so that video blew up because, when love him or hate him, Joe Rogan talked about it on his channel, and that blew up. And then from that, it's bad. The footage is awful. But from that, and it snowballed. And then I got contacted from the History Channel to be on their Proof is Out There show for the Marfa Lights episode that they did. And it was just like these little things snowball. And so just try to have fun with it. Try to put that positive, good energy into it, and don't get discouraged. Look at every win as a win. And it doesn't have to be a monetary win. It could be, just, I enjoyed this, Miami says, yeah. Miami, Florida, 12 times 10, $120 car insurance in Miami. Exactly. So even those little things, like selling something small on Facebook Marketplace, like this weekend, I'm having a garage sale. I've gone through my inventory. If it's too big and it's stressing me out, I can't sell it. I've got 3 Yakima bike racks in my garage that I picked up because I was going to sell them locally. They still haven't sold. I'm putting all this stuff in the garage sale because I've just got it sitting there and I need to make this money. So another thing I tell people when they ask me, like, how are you doing this? Like, I don't have hobbies. This is my hobby. And I am fully aware that it's a choice, that I could be making a different choice, as hard as it is sometimes. Like right now, like, don't cry. Because it's been, this last year has been hard, really hard. And when I first got divorced, things were really hard. When I first, made that jump from, I think I can support us. I think I can do this. And making that leap to leave my ex, what is 7 or 8 years ago. And in knowing that there's ups, there's downs, and it's tough. And I'm going to come back to the comments. So if you've got questions or the comments, I'm going to come. But if I don't, I'll lose track of what I'm saying. And me, I will. So one, like, in between homeschooling, stuff around the house, appointments, cooking, cleaning, all this stuff, is like I'm working. Like the minute I get up, it's like I hit the ground running, and then I, inevitably end up burning myself out and working myself, and then I have to take a break and I have to stop. And I'm trying to be better about that. But the reality is that's just the nature of how life is for us right now. And the other option is, I was a teacher for 15 years. So yeah, I could go back into the classroom. Not going to happen. So I know this is a choice. Like, I don't want to put my kids back in public school. I don't want to go back and have a boss. So there's all these things that are just the things that I'm choosing. So when things get hard on this end, I have to remind myself, okay, this was part of what I chose. And so another thing I tell people, especially when I'm like, I can hear the desperation behind the comments, and it's just like, it's not working, Margaret. I've been doing these things and it's not working. And I want to say, like, it took a couple years for things to finally get to the point where I was like, okay, I think I can do this. So my eldest was in kindergarten, kind of when I started doing this as a hobby. And that, that was age of 5. And then I got divorced maybe 5 years later. So in that 4 or 5 year interim, um, I was just slowly building things up. And it doesn't have to take that long. But at first, I didn't even have my eye on that prize. Not until a little while into it, I was like, oh, wait a minute here. If I apply myself, I can make enough money and I can leave the situation that I'm in, and oh, I can do this. And so then I really started putting some fire behind it and pushing myself forward. So the reality is, thinking that I can just, pick up a few things here and there and list them on eBay and poof, I'm going to be able to support myself. Like that didn't work for me. I'm not saying that that couldn't work for somebody else, but I started like really diving into print on demand and any other thing that I could find that would bring in um, an income, passive income. I mean, it wasn't passive at first because there's a lot of front loading that goes into some of these passive income stuff. And just recently, on the Teacher Pay Teacher site, uh, basically I've been going in like, you know what? I'm sitting here. My kid wanted me to watch something. I can punch out another. I make like calendar pieces for teachers in the pocket charts for the calendar, and so I'm doing stuff like that. Just like, okay, that's if I put it up, put it for $2 or $3. Every time it sells, $2 or $3 more. And you're like, oh, it's just $2, but no, times, whatever. So just that kind of mentality of, okay, things are tight right now. What are we doing here? What's going on? And that's just the way I have to do it. Or, I get questions about like the business end of things, and I have a CPA. I had to get a CPA, and she's like, you can write that off. Yeah, and Juan used to tease me about this, but we would spend money on something. I'm like, "But give me the receipt. We can write this off." And he would tease. I'm like, "No, like this is how businesses, like it's a business expense. We can write that off." And so as much as I can, I'm getting trying to write this off for my taxes. Um, just everything as much as I can. I'll ask my CPA bananas like questions like, can I write my nails off? I mean, I'm like, I have to have my nails done for the videos, right? And she's like, sure, why not? I'm like, really? Yeah, okay. Receipts, here they come. So finding the ways that you can try to cut those corners or get money back off your taxes, or having to put on your big girl pants and going. I can feel the nose. I can feel the nose coming. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to hold it in. All right, let me check the comments real quick, and then I'm going to talk about the cross posting aspect of this and why it's so important, especially if you're wanting to do this and have it be feasible. Because I was gonna do like a sales update, and then I realized like one of my platforms blew my eBay away this past however long it was. I didn't check the dates. But like more than double what I made on eBay, I made on this other platform. And so I just want to show you, like, if I was just selling on eBay, this is how much I would have made. But because I'm selling on these other platforms, and one of the platforms just had one sale, but it all adds up. And if you think, oh, if I didn't sell on this other platform, then that's however much money that I wouldn't have had. Okay, let me quick go through the comments, and then I'll jump onto that part of it and just talk about how important that is. Tommy, I'm so glad you were able to make it. Thank you. Let's see. Good morning, everybody. Hello. I'm trying to say hi, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, it like I said, it just like my heart, I can see and hear and feel that desperation and like, come on, I got to make this work, you know. So eBay spend it three. Oh yeah. And when you have all your eggs in one basket, not saying that you do, when you have all your eggs in one basket and things are rough, like it's like, oh, now what, so having, yeah. Let's see, antique agenda. It's always a challenge to stay on track with financials. Everyone's always says it's easy to buy stuff, but it takes a lot of hustle to sell consistently. Yeah, I had another comment similar to that recently. Like, I can't believe I bought like this. It was a sealed like Hulk bath thing, and they were like, I can't believe you're showing us stuff like this. Like, you know what? You're not paying my bills. If you want to come contribute to my water bill, then, here's my PayPal. But that, like, if I can make $30 and pay my gas bill or take a gas, people, and it's not, you can go to garage sales and some people are like, I just want, video games and I want this and this and this, only things that are going to be, $20 profits or more, which is fantastic if you can do it. But if you can't find things that are that amount or more, that judgment is not helping anybody. Good for you if that's all you can do and you're making it. But you'll see when I share my sales, I had a sale that was $7 sale, a $9 sale, but I'm like, you know what? That's $5. And that's, putting a loaf of bread and some eggs to make some breakfast sandwiches in my kid's mouth every morning. So, stick your judgment, where. Sorry, I'm feeling a little spicy this morning. Hey, thank you. Yeah, overall, I'm good. Yes. And without a husband, totally. Yeah. And it is a slowdown and it's true. And it's just been a lot, like, and also with I moved states and I moved house. I've been in 3 houses in the last year. So moving inventory, moving everything, doing all this stuff, getting my kids settled, like, learning everything about Colorado and yeah, all of it. So yeah, speaking of things, you write off for your taxes. Oh yeah, write off things that you donate to Goodwill. Totally. Um, Thank you, Paul. Just anything. Yeah, anything I can think of. I mean, and she'll tell me, you can, because you use your phone, you can write off part of your phone bill, your part of your, like this room that I'm in, like you can give me the square footage. And so if you don't have somebody that can help you with that kind of stuff, definitely look into it, because there were things that I wasn't even thinking about. Mileage for my car, driving around, like looking at garage sales, like so many different things. Like, what about when I went to the ER last week? I didn't talk about this. I think I talked about it on my other channel. I'm like, I think it turned out it was stress related. I'm like, so can I write that off because it's maybe like work related stress, or, well, I don't know. I mean, who knows, right? I've asked for crazier things. So she may be like, sure, why not? Yeah. Okay. Pardon. Let me take a quick sip. Oh yeah. Megan Daniels. She says, if this is your main source of income, you absolutely need to cross post. Sometimes it's not $20 profit. I had to take 13 off. I'm not complaining. Yeah, totally. It's just, you got to just run with it. Yeah. And the moving, that's another thing too. I'm like, okay, so how much of this move can I write off? Because I had to move some inventory and I had to move my work stuff. So, I sent her all that stuff. I'm still working on my taxes from 2023 because we were moving in the middle of all of this stuff. So I was like, okay. Yeah, sometimes I just make a $2 profit, other times 50. Yeah, it's not always available. Totally. I have a long list of things I know to look for. And always beefing that up. Like, that's how I feel too. I'm like always trying to, okay, I don't know anything about baby toys. That was my recent one. Let me see what baby toys. Because if I go to a garage sale and this is all I've got to work with is this, they've got baby stuff. Like, okay, what do I pick up here? Right. And y'all were fussing at me the other day. I'm on the ride-alongs where I was skipping the one with the golf shirts. And they're like, girl, you need to learn golf shirts. I was like, you know what? You're right. I should have gone over there but yeah. Yeah. Okay. You can write off your entire phone if yeah. So do they? Sometimes my kids take pictures for me. So we'll see. Electricity, internet, totally. And, and at the old house, I don't have that here. I do my own yard. But in Texas, like, I had a yard crew because it was so cheap, and I had a yard crew that would come and help me with my yard, and I could write that off. So that was awesome too. But here my yard is so small, I just do it on my own. You bought the tax deductions for dummy. It was a great little, oh, nice. Okay. Things that are unsellable. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. See, I'm still learning too. And I'm not a CPA, so I'm not giving you tax advice. I'm just saying, find somebody. Totally. I've been trying to get going with reselling. It's a bit more. Yeah, you'll get there. Okay. So let's talk about the cross posting. I am going to share some of my sales. Let me see what else I've got over here. I feel like I have a few screens open. And I'm like, okay, that's my last one that I'm going to share with you. And if you're just selling on eBay, I have in my description below, I have a link for Etsy if you decide you want to do that, where you can get, is it 20 or 40 free listings, where you can get some free listings to get the ball rolling. I think it's 40 free listings. And then also I use List Perfectly, and I've just been playing around with some of the new features with the auto delist, and I need to come show you because it's really kind of cool. There's like a listing wizard or something like that where and it's not like eBay's AI lister, which I don't like, but this one, when I looked at the Express Lister, I think is what it's called. And you push the button and you just upload the pictures and it generates the listing, and it's actually really good. I've only had to go in and tweak a few things. And so it's like, boop. Yeah. So I'll have to do another video on that. So if you are if you're interested, hang on, I'm trying to switch this screen share thing. If you're interested in that, it really does help to use my link. It helps me, helps you. I think with the List Perfectly, you get like 30% off your first month if you go through my link. But yeah, that's something to consider okay, I'm going to show my sales now. Let me do this. If you are interested in doing the cross posting, and yeah, it helps. All right, let me go over here. Nope, that's too small. There we go. All right, so we're going to talk about the different sales. This is the one sale I had on Poshmark of all places. And I almost did not get back on Poshmark because I just rarely had sales on Poshmark. And I sold this dollhouse of all things. So, and lately, yeah, I've just been selling everything and anything, right? So, oh, wait, here we go. Sourcing, okay, wait, I'm missing something here. Sourcing bans are essentially, if you have a desk stockpile building up, takes discipline, but yeah, it's what your business is. Totally getting into all of that. Jewelry, nice. Yeah, you have to diversify your store, totally. And that's the thing too. Like when I was just selling jewelry, it was a lot tougher because you can't always find the best stuff. But I'm going back to a little bit more selling of smaller things because some of this bigger stuff is stressing me out. Just having it sitting there. But we'll see. It's a pendulum, so I might swing back the other way. Why not? You have the flexibility to do that. Sinister Reality. I have a love-hate relationship with this picture, but I kind of love it. Okay. I like the big ears. They're cute. Tight Spot 2, being solo. I feel like having a spouse married to a good person is the way to go. We need support in our ultra diverse incomes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. All right. So this was my one sale on Poshmark dollhouse, right? So I need to get over here so I can scroll through my sales. So let's go back. Let me get back to the beginning. Let me get back up here. And we're going to talk. These are my sales on Etsy. And it's funny because some of the things that are here are things that people are like, that doesn't sell anymore. Like Longaberger. They're like, Longaberger is dead. Nobody's buying Longaberger anymore. Well, yeah, they do. So this is a Longaberger basket that sold for $20 on Etsy. And with fees and stuff, I didn't put my net profits here, but with fees and stuff, it's probably about $16, $17 in that range. So that's what that one is. And then this just sold. This is a paper letter holder with a marble bottom. It sold for $30. And then pair of eyeglasses, which I really like selling, used eyeglasses, prescription. I get this question too with the prescription. These are prescription eyeglasses, but I'm not selling them for the prescription because people are like, you're not allowed to sell prescription stuff. So people can take the lenses out and put their own prescription in because they like the frames, right? So these are Perry Ellis, sold for $30, $31. And then this is just a Tiffany box with the little bag, and this sold for $18.99. So even if you see just the empty boxes for some of these brands can sell really well. I have another one. It doesn't have the pouch that I have up for sale. And then these little strawberry patches, my brain is just like, I can't think of words right now. The little strawberry patches, these sold for $21, and I have another one of these. So crossing fingers, the other one sells as well. And then this is something that I've had listed for a long time. But I put a high price on it because it was so nice and I was willing to wait for the right buyer for it. And it was a handmade like wampum belt. So that leather that it's sewn onto it was like the softest leather. It was just beautiful, beautiful. So it sold for $255. I think maybe I got it for $5 at a garage sale. So it didn't cost me very much at all. I just realized that I'm not telling you what I bought things for, but most of it's $1 or less. This was in a bunch of other patches and stuff, so maybe a quarter. This box and the other box, I think maybe 50 cents. I can't remember on this, but usually I'm pretty frugal about my spending. I think I spent about $3 on that one, which is a lot, and probably about $3 on the basket. So try to remember here. All right, and then this little cat sold, and this sold for $20. Again, probably spent about $1 or less on this at a garage sale. And hang on, let me see if I'm missing anything in the chat real quick. Oh yeah, you found things that had dropped off eBay, right? And you get them relisted. It's funny because, and then when I'm listing, things are selling, right? So, and I had to go through and do when I moved into the house here, before I made all my, oops, hang on, I hit the wrong button. Let me try this again. Before I made all of my all my things live again on eBay, I went through and physically had to look and hold each item because I had gotten into trouble with not finding stuff before. So that was a tricky problem to have, but I went through and I have like over 1,000 items. So, but I wanted to make sure I knew where it was and that I had it and it was listed and double checking everything. And that was I said this on another video where List Perfectly helped because it had been over 3 months on eBay. So all of my listings were gone. You know, I couldn't even go through my inactive listings to relist or sell similar because they were gone. And so if I hadn't had List Perfectly, you know, all of those listings were there. So all I had to do was repost them from that. And I was like, oh, thank God I had that, or else I'd be taking pictures of everything all over again. Okay, let me pull this back over. Let me double check here. Let's see, try to Etsy. Don't want to spend that much time develop. Yeah. See, same thing with Poshmark. Like I don't share my store. I don't do all of that stuff. And yeah. I think it is possible to be successful without developing a following. I think it's kind of like just with eBay. For me anyway, the same thing with Posh and all this. Like I don't share my store, share my items or things like that. I just list it and forget it most of the time. I don't. I just pop it up there. Smaller the better. Yeah. A lot of money in larger items. Boy, when that wooden dollhouse sold, I was like, do I have a box for this? Yeah. Oh, thanks, Lori. Yeah, it's true. But I try not to let things hold me back for sure. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Any tips for selling on Etsy? Okay. Mostly you have to pay. Yeah, it's like 20 cents a listing. But if you use the link, then you get 40 free listings. And I have a couple different stores because I sell like hard good type stuff. And then I have digital downloads in another store, and I have print on demand because you can do print on demand through Printful in another. So I have multiple like Etsy stores. And so like you just use that link to get 40 free listings in the different stores. But basically it's the same thing I put over on eBay, and that express lister on List Perfectly will even pull up the tags. Like it'll put tags in there. It's amazing. The packaging. Yeah. Any tips? Oh, wait, hang on. I went backwards. Console box. Oh, console boxes. Okay. I didn't even think about that. Empty PS4 box. Nice. Okay. Enjoy your sandwich. Thank you. All right. So let's get back to the sales. Thank y'all for being here too. Like I was going to just pre-record this and I thought, no, I need the support of my friends or I will start bawling. All right. So this little kitty cat sold still on the Etsy sales. So then this is another one. And I sold one of these on eBay, I think too, like in the previous, I had 2 of these little ashtrays, and this one sold for $20. And then this little Pooh Bear stuffed animal sold for $35. And then this is one of those toys that people were like, I can't believe you're buying that kind of, this is like a McDonald's toy or a Burger King toy or something like that. But this was a little Pokemon. I had to ask my kids, who is this? Gollum. And so I'll tell you, I had to go back because later I forgot the Google image search. And so Gollum sold for $11.99. And I got a whole box of these little plastic toys and stuff, just random. I love selling stuff like this. And people tease me about it, but I just love it because I can get a box of toys, little plastic doodads that, they're like, oh, give me a couple bucks for that whole thing. And, here we are, right? Getting all this money off it. So I'll take it, $12. And then this I've had listed for a while. This is a scarf clip and it sold for $22.99. And I probably got this in a jewelry jar, so didn't spend very much on that. And I just got this recently. I almost kept it because I loved it, but it's one of those little wall hook, little knob thingies. So it sold for $14.99. I spent less than $1 on it at a garage sale. Okay, so those are my Etsy sales. So my Etsy sales, let me pull that up, totaling the amount that I made. Oh, my cat is at the door hollering at me. Here we go. Screen share. Why isn't it screen sharing? Present, screen share. Here we go. Go. All right. So my Etsy sales here, $502. So that's before fees and everything. So I would say probably $450, probably between $425, $450 because I had that one big sale that, had a little bit more probably for the fee. So not too bad right there, And okay, Glamorous Closet. Talking last night, a group of how you got started stories. Oh yeah. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so now let's take a look at the eBay sales. And so this is why when I say to cross post, you'll see like my eBay sales in this video were not as good as my Etsy sales. So here, that was the Poshmark one. So this is a magazine that we got in that big lot of magazines for $60. It was like Mad magazines and all these horror magazines, National Lampoons, and like books. And it was like $60 for all this stuff, more than made our money back on that. When I say us, it was when Juan and I were together. And if you're like, why would you take an offer that low? It was because I had it at 82. It's on sale. But why would I take a $25 offer? Well, I've had it listed for over a year, maybe a year and a half. So I was very, I'm willing to take an offer and get it out of here, right? Let's see. Any advice on navigating the world of affiliate marketing? I put the links there, and then I don't do a whole lot more with it. Or if I do a video where I talk about like tools that I'm using, then I'll like make sure to put the links, and I'll tell people like the links are in there. I could probably do more, but I don't know. Sometimes I get weird about being salesy about stuff. So, but yeah, that's something I need to get over. All right, so this sold, I picked this up at a garage sale. I think I spent $5 on this, more than I normally would have, but I thought there's a TI, one of the TI 80 somethings, and it sells really well, more than this one, but I couldn't remember, and I left my phone in the car, and I was like, I'll go ahead and get it. I'll make money either way. But so I sold it for $15. Then this is another one. I got a lot of people mad at me in the garage sale video when they said I lowballed the lady at the garage sale, like trying to talk her down on the price on these purses. Like, this is how I make my money. So this purse sold for $53 and I paid $30 for two purses. So, I mean, I think the people that were making the negative comments on the video were like thinking of how much these purses cost brand new. I'm like, yeah, it might be like that new, but definitely not used. So probably, I spent maybe $15 on this purse. Still got a good profit on that. Oh, Glamorous Closet, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Have to go list. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, and then this little butterfly brooch sold for $10. I took an offer on this one. This is another one that was in that box with all the little bitty toys. These are little like finger puppets, right? So I just lotted all these little monster finger puppets up together and sold them for $7. So maybe a quarter spent on all of that. So it's still a good $5 profit. I'm happy with that. And then this was also in that big lot of comics, magazines, and stuff that we got. So $20 on this one. And this is a bracelet I've had listed forever, and it sold for $45. And then this was a jacket. Again, I don't sell a whole lot of clothes, but I saw this flight jacket, Alpha Industries, and I honestly got it. I thought one of my kids would like it. And then I looked it up. I was like, never mind. And it's this reversible flight jacket, beautiful. And it sold for $75. Like, no, my kids have jackets, they're fine. And then I got these giant coloring books and I sold 2 of them. So that was, I think I got 4 or 5 of these giant coloring books for maybe $5 for all of them. And this sold for $10. My Bigfoot plush sold for $10. Again, you know, happy to take that 10. I tend to price it on the higher end. So I leave myself some wiggle room on the pricing. Plus I just turned off, because I was trying free shipping to see if it helped out, and I didn't enjoy it, and I didn't see a big shift in that. So some of my prices were still on the higher end because I didn't adjust all the prices back down. It was going to take too long. So $10 on that. I was happy to take that. And then this is the other big coloring book, the Hansel and Gretel one, sold for $10. So let me pull up the Etsy. I mean, I showed you my Etsy. So now let me show you my eBay sales. My eBay. So 502 on Etsy and 280 on eBay for this. I forgot to check the dates to see if it was a couple weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week. I don't know. Week and a half, I think. So my Etsy absolutely outperformed my eBay. It doesn't always happen that way. So usually I'll tell people eBay's usually better. And then around Q4, Etsy usually ramps it up because people are a lot of times looking for unique gifts and things like that. But this time Etsy outperformed eBay. So if you aren't cross-posting, that might be something you consider. Again, I use List Perfectly, and I've started trying to I haven't gotten all my listings up on Mercari, Poshmark, and Facebook Marketplace yet, but I'm in the process and doing so many, trying to get so many done a day. And then I just I can't look at this anymore. But with the List Perfect, I know it's not a commercial for them, but I really with that, I just have to push the button and it just puts them over there. And that's that. I just have to double check everything and it's good to go. Pardon me. I appreciate you coming, and I would love, if you're watching now or if you're watching later, I'd love to hear in the comments, your take on everything, how you're doing, and what other ways you're bringing in income. Because like I said, I do work a lot. And one of the comments said you're a workaholic. Maybe, but I have a life and another thing I tell myself is that nothing lasts forever. So my kids are not going to be at home forever. They're not going to be, because part of this is I like to do things with them. We take a lot of road trips. We try to go do things. And so sometimes I'm like, maybe I should not do as much of that because I should have more savings in the bank. But then I think, you know what? They're only here. My kids are 14 and 16, almost 17. And so I just have a few more years where they're going to really be here and want to do more stuff with me before they start going to college, if that's their choice. And if they go to, get a job or have their own people that they're hanging around with more, then I'll have way more time on my hands than I've ever probably had. And I can work on that at that point. But I'm trying to live for our life right now and make sure that, yeah, make sure that I'm taking care and I don't have regrets later. I don't look back and think, I wish that I had done something differently. And so I don't want to have that feeling. So I do, yesterday, I worked a little bit last night, but we went to Pikes Peak. Yesterday, we just drove up Pikes Peak and enjoyed our day. And then, another thing I'm starting back is on Whatnot. And Whatnot is like an online auction platform. It's a bit of work, but there's a lot of, you can make a good, amount of money on it. So it might be rusty, but I have a show scheduled for this evening. I'm going to do jewelry. And if you're interested in Whatnot, also I put the link there. So if you sign up to buy stuff, there's a link where they give you $15 for signing up to spend. And if you end up wanting to sell, there's another link there to get a referral link showing that, Margaret referred me to come try to be a seller on Whatnot. And so I'm going to start doing some more selling on Whatnot too. So like I said, I'm just trying to put my fingers in all the pies to be able to get revenue coming in. And that's just the way I operate. So if you have anything else that you do that we could, know about, that's legit, I know there's a lot of these, like, I don't know. So I just, yeah, just try to find as many different ways um, to bring in income, but don't forget what's important. And remember that the hard times don't last forever. So, yeah, invest in your values. Oh, that's why this is, thank you. I appreciate that. Yep, bills need to get paid. And if you're interested, like I said, whatnot, I think I've scheduled it for 6 or 6:15, something like that. Oh, your Etsy outperformed eBay this time as well. Yeah, totally. Okay, let's see if I missed anything. I don't know if they have eBay awards. They might. I've never been to one of the eBay seller events, so I'm not sure. That's the thing. Like I'll get asked to go, or people will ask me, uh, and I'm like, I am a single mom, and I can't do that. So, and a lot of the like reseller events that happen, it's just like not feasible. Like I went to one in Colorado Springs when I first moved here, just to meet up with some, but I'm not like in person, like I'm really shy. It takes me a minute to like open up. So it's a little wallflower there. I noticed you prefer thrift stores and yard sales, but since Colorado winters kick yard sales to the curb, do you ever? Yeah, I've seen some estate sales, and yeah, the yard sale season is very short here. So trying to get as much of that in as possible, and as much inventory without driving myself crazy. Uh, let's see. Oh yeah, I've done some live selling before. I used to do auctions on this channel, and I've done whatnot before, but it's been over a year, and so I'm a little rusty. So I may like go live with like a practice one, just to get my feet under me. But I'm gonna try to do at least 2 a week to get the ball rolling again, for sure. You sell mostly on, right? Yeah, it helps. Live sale. Oh, live sales on Posh. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I use List Perfectly, and I have a link for 30% off if you decide you want to go that route. And it helps me, it helps you. So I appreciate anytime you use my links, for sure. Let's see. Oh, nice. That's a good idea. Edit videos, thumbnail design for creators. Man, I'm not good at that. My editing skills are like, as minimal as I've tried getting fancy, but it takes me forever. I haven't tried knickknacks yet. I need to talk to Jocelyn about that. She's a busy lady too. Speaking of busy ladies, but I haven't yet. So I'll have to get in touch with her and ask her. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Well, you guys, I am going to go. I got an appointment with a chiropractor to knock this headache out. I got a crick in my neck. So yeah, I hope that this wasn't a downer, that it is work, and that, especially if you're solo, you know, there was ways, but it's, just trying to be gentle with yourself and know it takes time to build the income up, to build some of these other streams up. And I'm sure there's more ways that I'm not even thinking about. I used to do more tutorial type videos. I used to do some private, what do you call it? Like private videos to help resellers with stuff like that. But my thing is that I don't I don't like deadlines so much. And I've had other like companies reach out and say, hey, will you do, very rarely will I do the videos, like hey, will you review our item type stuff? And because I don't like people telling me what to do, and I don't like having to answer to somebody, or them saying like, we need this by this date. I'm like, realistically, that's just not the way I can operate in my life right now. So things come up too frequently for me to, and I don't like disappointing people. Anyway, yeah. So there's that as well. And usually when I had somebody reach out wanting to do a thermal printer video for them, and I'm like, well, you need to give me 2 so I can give one away, because I don't want to do it and just like, look what I got, y'all. Sorry, bonk. I want to make sure I have a giveaway one. Sorry, my nose is. All right. Again, thank you for hanging out. And if you have any other tips, ideas for other streams of income that we could incorporate, then leave a comment down below. And I wish you the very best. And if you're struggling, just chin up, and you can get through this. And I will see you soon, hopefully. Bye, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.